So today we're going to be talking about Deuce, a former member of Hollywood Undead. Let's get into it. So Deuce, the former member of Hollywood Undead. Alright, so we're going to talk about this. We're going to get into who he is, right? And just a little bit of his story. Right, so this is the Curious Case of Deuce, because this is going to be shocking, alright? I've never seen this, it's been a minute, so I hope you guys will enjoy the video, and let's just get into the story of Deuce, aka Aaron. So like I said before, Deuce, a former member of Hollywood Undead, right? He left because of a disagreement. I don't know how true that is, okay? Deuce and Hollywood Undead did interviews back in the day, and they both had different answers. So, that's just up in the air, okay? But, when Deuce left, he dropped his studio album, 9 Lives, okay? Now, back in the day, right, when I was discovering Hollywood Undead and 9 Lives, well, my Deuce, it was up in the air, okay? And what I saw when I was discovering them is the reason why this man popped off, okay? And there was a lot of controversy, of course, back in 2012, 2013, around that era. You really didn't have a lot of artists make blasphemous remarks, okay? It wasn't very popular or well known, but that's what Deuce did, right? He did it a few times when it came, like the one that has the most views on his album, called The One, alright? At first, when I was listening to it, it was kind of catchy, and then later on in the lyrics, later on in the song, I understood why. I completely understood why it was the way that it was. It was talking about F praying to Jesus, let me shine like a god, and stuff like that. And you didn't hear that in a lot of music back in 2012, 2013, stuff like that. But there's something I want to show you guys that is very intriguing when it comes to talking about Deuce. Okay? So, Deuce, when he left, he had his own little posse. Okay? And apparently, during some, research, he was also a producer. Okay? But with him being a producer, okay, this is where it gets me. None of his music was released on Apple Music, Spotify, anything like iTunes, anything like that. It wasn't on there besides this album right here, which was made in 2012. But see, as easy as it is, you go to YouTube and you type in Deuce Aaron EP, which was also dropped 10 years ago. Okay? Now, this is where I found some of his other music. Okay, this is because I was always on iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, anything like that, and I would always just listen to what he had. But I never decided to go to YouTube and look it up. But this is his EP, okay? Now, during that time, it was not released on any platform besides YouTube. Maybe other places, but not the main ones. And another example of that is this one here. Alright, this was also dropped 10 years ago, right? And the album or EP, whatever you want to call it, is Call Me Big Deuce. And you see in the profile there, it has him and his band at that time. Now, Deuce, alright, we're going to step away from the music side for a little bit. And just doing a little research, right? Deuce had issues and troubles with the law. Okay, he was arrested 4 times. And each time, right, his mugshots were uploaded, of course. But the craziest thing about it, right, is he was arrested 4 times, and he hasn't performed a live performance since 2014. You're sitting there thinking, well, why does that matter? Well, see, I'm kind of putting 2 and 2 together, right? And it may be the reason why his record label at the time wouldn't let him drop this kind of music, or the music that he had. And it just threw red flags to me. And I bring all of this up, he hasn't performed live since 2014, okay? And then 2017, something happened. In 2017, Deuce went to Facebook and was blowing up his album, Invincible. Came out in 2017, 14 songs, and they did pretty well. Right? Not bad. But here's the kicker. If you've been a Deuce fan since 2014, 2012, you would know that when listening to this album, it sounds nothing like Deuce or anything that Deuce would release. Nothing at all. Right? For those who don't remember what Deuce called himself, he was a rap god. He claimed to be that. In interviews I saw, he claimed to be, he was the best rapper and stuff like that in Hollywood Undead, stuff like that. But see, this is nothing like that at all. So it threw a lot of red flags to his fans, people who listen to Deuce on a regular basis. Just threw red flags everywhere. And then this EP that came out in 2018, Nightmare, still nothing like Deuce. Nothing at all. Threw red flags to every single one of his fans. And let's go a little deeper, okay? Since the departure that Deuce took from Hollywood Undead, Deuce decided to drop Story of a Snitch. Okay? That was the beginning of everything. Everything. Alright? Now, you could not find Story of a Snitch on Spotify or Apple Music or iTunes or anything like that. You couldn't find it. Couldn't find it. Nowhere. You had to go to YouTube to find it. So when Deuce dropped that, it was diss track. He dropped the diss track. And then Hollywood Undead came back with a diss track called Lights Out. And guess what? It was uploaded. It was uploaded to Spotify, YouTube. It was uploaded to all platforms. And then Deuce, see, here's the thing. Hollywood Undead dropped Lights Out. That was it. That was done. Over with. Not a single song past that was directed towards Deuce. But what did Deuce do? Deuce dissed Hollywood Undead 19 different times. 19. One of them, he was a feature on their song. The band called From Ashes to New. They did a song with Deuce, and it was pretty good. Guess what? Deuce's part came up. He dissed Hollywood Undead. He did. Well, somewhat. Some would debate, but I consider it a diss. But let's step away from the drama, okay? Let's step away from the beef that they got, and let's go back to Deuce's music, all right? So, earlier I was telling you about his other EPs, all right? Now, Deuce, from what I looked up, from what I learned and heard, Deuce is a producer, okay? Music is not good. To me, it's not, okay? The music he produces, the stuff that he's featured on now, I'm not a fan of it. But everything that I mentioned so far, everything that I've talked about, talked about his career, talked about what he's doing now, this is the shocking part for me. When going on Spotify, this is what I use, Deuce still produces 200,000 monthly listeners. Okay? And his last single has been a very long time. It has. Not gonna lie to you. But remember when I was talking about the old EPs that was made like 10 years ago? 11 years ago? They've now made their way to Spotify. Okay? You have Call Me Big Deuce. Got some pretty good numbers on there. It's my favorite song. Deuce is not on it, but it's my favorite song. One of them. But it's not bad. You know? Then, you just come down here. The Aaron EP. Aaron EP is it's good. I like it. Got some good songs on there. Actually, only two. Franny and Dreams. All right, and then let's move on, shall we? 9 Lives Forever. There it is. Story of a Snitch. Release date for this was March 17th, 2023. There's a reason why I bring all of this up. If Deuce did not get screwed over by his old labels, okay? If he didn't get screwed over by his old labels or, been locked up, I believe that Deuce would have performed. That the outcome of his whole career, I believe he would be right next to Hollywood Undead now. Hollywood Undead right now is like at 4 million monthly listeners. I believe that Deuce would be right next to him. But it's crazy enough because even though his last single by himself was released a while back ago, he still has 200,000 monthly listeners, which is very impressive. Okay? See, when I found Hollywood Undead, this was when Deuce was in the band. They dropped Swan Songs. It was a beautiful piece. I loved every single minute of it. And it's crazy enough that Hollywood Undead's top 2 songs are with Deuce in it. And it came from Swan Songs. And that right there just amazes me on the backstory of Deuce. And I ain't gonna lie to you. I would love to do an interview with Deuce. I really would. Don't know how to get in contact with him. I'll find out. But it's amazing to see that even though he hasn't released a newer song in a minute, he's now able to drop his old stuff. Which a lot of people, they're not going to rock with it because you can hear the quality. See, in today's time, if you listen to Hollywood Undead's music, you're going to be like, oh, bro, this is it. This is it. But if you listen to Aaron, it's like, oh, I can tell that's it's been a minute. And that's just that. But still, Deuce's music is good. All right? Now, I don't get offended because everybody knows your boy here, he's a Christian. I am. But I tend to stay away from music like that. When it talks about blasphemy and stuff like that, I kind of step away from it. But still, it's doing good. Now, like I said before, if he would have dropped his stuff early, if he didn't get screwed over, I'm telling you, the game, he would be right next to them. And if he would save up some money, man, get that good feature. Start releasing some music. And I promise you, if you go back to the old you, when you dropped that first album, 9 Lives, it's raps. You're either going to be right next to Hollywood Undead or you're going to be past them. I don't know. Alright, this is just my opinion. Alright, I rock with Deuce. His music's good. But my personal taste is Hollywood Undead. And that's the next video. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. It was kind of fun making it, and I was very excited to make it as well. So yeah, I'm about to make this Hollywood Undead. I got the hoodie on, Hillside, California. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching the video. I hope you guys did enjoy. Please, just get this out there to some people, man. Trying to come back to YouTube a little bit. But yeah, so thank you guys so much again. Please like the video, comment, any video ideas y'all want me to do on, curious cases, stuff like that. I'll definitely get into it. But just thank you guys once again for all the love and support. I'm very much appreciated, and I hope you guys have a blessed day. Y'all take it easy.